Okay, I discovered this site a few years ago before there was any AI, and basically it's a site where visual art is made with JavaScript, and there's like literally thousands of scripts that people have created of all different kinds, and you can click through them by using this selector icon up here in the upper right. I don't know if you can go backwards. Can you go backwards? Well, you kind of can. Let me see. Yeah, it's kind of working. So let me go back one more. I like that one. It'll be dramatic. So, basically when you get here, there's this script and it's running and it's got its own tempo and whatnot, and you can control it by changing these values here. And I always thought, oh, that's cool, but I wish that I can control it with knobs and sliders and stuff. And this is in the browser, and basically you have to go in here and edit things by hand. Like I'll change this 1 to a 3, for instance, and then I hit the play button, and you see it changed the size. It made it much bigger. So you can see how changing these things would make it it's kind of painstaking. It's kind of time consuming, and you don't have a lot of control. It's not very organic or whatnot. So my fantasy was that I would come up with a USB interface that had some sort of knob on it, and that I would be able to travel between these different values and change them at will. And I'm still not there yet, but I've gotten much closer. And so this was a project that I decided would be interesting for AI, and so I basically started researching it in Gemini Pro, and this is my initial prompt here, and basically it said yes, this is possible, and it might be easier than you think, because there are ways to do exactly what you're looking for. And so I basically had to create a small app, and then define its parameters here in this main.js, and then the action really happens in this preload.js, and this is where all the growth and iteration and changes came in. And so what I ended up with is something that displays this website, but in its own browser, that allows me to control its appearance by a MIDI sending USB connected control surface that has knobs, sliders, and buttons on it. And so I'm gonna close this so that it's not confusing, and I'm gonna bring up command line, and then in command line I'm going to issue an instruction, and I have it saved here. I'm gonna issue an instruction that launches the app that I created. And so here it is, and you see that it looks very similar. It's in essence running the app inside of this. It's running the website inside of this app, and you can see it has similar controls, and it looks the same. But now I have through trial and error and requests, a kind of a partnership with AI, managed to get control of the appearance of this thing. And so like I can toggle off, you see, I can toggle off these parameters over here, because I'm not going to be editing them in the thing. I mean, I can, You can see though it's still very painstaking. Let me just change something here. Let me see if it'll work. It might not work. No, it worked. So the function still works, remotely. I can change a parameter in this, what is in essence a browser window, and the mechanism still works because it's all, JavaScript. And but now I have control over it. Like I'm toggling off the user interface with a button on my control surface. It's a Korg Nano Control 2, and they're not expensive. It was under $100, I'm sure. Can't remember exactly what I paid. But I can flip between the models. Oh, look, it looks like I brought up something that is pulling in a camera. My camera. There I am. Wow, amazing. And then I can control. This is adding audio reactivity to it. I'm going to turn that off because it's kind of distracting. But there is a saturation. I can go between grayscale, very unsaturated, to very extremely saturated, and that looks somewhere around normal. I'm going to change the model. Okay, so that's a pixelation function, and now there was something about the blend mode that changed there. I can twirl it. I can scale it. Let me see, where does the scale? I should know it better than I do, but I just did it, so. Yeah. Okay, there's the scale. Slider 2. Slider 2 is the scaling. Okay, so then blend mode is here. This is the screen mode. Slider 2, I'm going to scale it up. There's also I can completely take the opacity away with slider 8, and I think this one controls the speed, maybe. Maybe not. Yeah, no, 7 controls the speed. So let me increase the opacity. Let me actually change the model. Okay, I don't know if that's better. There's 0 opacity of the overlay. Okay, so 0. Yeah. I'm going to keep going until I find something that's more useful. So I gradually added features. I can blur it. That's blurring the art. You can see it's blurring the art. I'm going to take away the video feed for a minute. This blurs the art. Let's see here. Okay, this controls the speed. This is knob 8. Knob 8, and then there I am. Okay. So this is some of what it can do. It can blur. Blur is can be useful. Let me take away it can scale. Let me take away the pixelation. There we go. Then it can rotate. That's there we go. Rotate. It can zoom. Let me see. Zoom there to fill the screen. And I can bring in the video again. and I can change the blending modes. That looks pretty cool. That's just flipping through all the blending modes to give you an idea of what it can do. And then normal. So normal, I will try to take away the opacity. Okay, there's slow, there's fast. I guess I need to futz with the blending modes. Okay. So that kind of shows you the functionality. I'm going to go ahead and quit this now and then go into some of the code and how that all worked. This is just a tiny description of the app that we're creating. It's just a simple text file. This is more of a definition of where it's going to get the models from, but then it allows me to cycle through the models. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. Then preload. This is where the most of the work took place. This is where it really grew, and it's almost 200 lines now. But this is it was helpful that Gemini Pro presented each new version in its entirety, so I didn't have to try to figure out where the exact places I needed to paste in the code were. I could just replace the entire preload.js file and it would work. So that's pretty much it. And thank you for your kind attention.